he's calling me names, and I think there were two other people on the panel, and they chose to leave, and I stayed there with this guy, and he's literally that talk is still there. I didn't delete it or anything, and he's trashing me nicely. And this talk, it was regarding. I think it'll pop up. It'll pop back up in my head. Something to do with objective truth. When people talk about objective truth, so my argument to him was, so they consider whatever is written in the Bible to be the objective truth. And I'm like, well, my argument to him, objective truth. And this talk, it was regarding. I think it'll pop up. It'll pop back up in my head. Something to do with objective truth. When people talk about objective truth, so my argument to him was, so they consider whatever is written in the Bible to be the objective truth. And I'm like, well, my argument to him was that, buddy, it seems like every truth, even if you call it an objective truth, it's actually subjective. It's still subjective, regardless of you calling it objective. And triggered us. I used to talk a lot about triggers back then. We all have triggers, and what's triggering us, and being aware of those triggers, and not reacting to those. Someone triggered us. I used to talk a lot about triggers back then. We all have triggers, and what's triggering us, and being aware of those triggers, and not reacting to those triggers. We're not reacting to another person, we're reacting to the triggers within. And why do we have those triggers? And coming to that awareness, going deeper into why do we have those triggers? Where do they come from? Because we got a couple of messages. Do you want to share anything else, Uncle Leo?
No, I'm fine. And I'm waiting
Anything
for
else on
Julie
your heart?
Prunes to send us any feedback. I'm waiting for Julie Prunes time, but for now, I agree. Let's get to the messages.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that
Julie.
guy.
What I heard in my head that I was right.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
They had their own perception, and they were trying to. But can you? I do feel like asking you get through these messages and see what what BX Blues has to share with us. Thank you again. Thank you, everyone.
Can you explain that? Because you said the guy was coming from a Christian or a biblical perspective. I actually agree with this guy. And can you run that past me? How is it that from a biblical perspective, objective truth, the objective truth coming from the Christian worldview, how can it be subjective? I'm talking about if in my worldview, I operate on the objective truth of the reality of God. Now remember, this is a biblical worldview. How can you say it's subjective when you're using the objectivity of a real God from the Christian worldview perspective?
BX Blues, let's do this regarding this conversation regarding objective truth, and let's hopefully have a show sometime, and let's have a conversation. And the intention is not to. For me, there has to be an intention. My intention is to. Well, let's talk about it again. But
Why?
well, well, uh, let's talk about it again. But
Why?
when you and me are
Why? Why would we
on a show
talk about
together,
this again? Yeah, that's right. Why don't we have him be more professional about it? Set up a room, send an invitation in advance, and dedicate time on a panel where there's no background noises while you're running errands. If it's that important to you, like the rest of the professional podcasters, dedicate a time, invite the panel, and have your show and talk about whatever you want to talk about without any more background noise because you're running errands. If it's that important to you, number one. Number two, you could have done all of this without even having to send that message. Julie Prunes made a very clear message a little while ago, like 5, 7 minutes ago, that whenever you allow people to totally ignore what the room is about, totally ignore what the show is about, and turn it into a religious debate, it's more divisive. Why is it that this part is never acknowledged? Where does it say this is hard on to prove that your God is better than anybody else's God? Just have the balls to say it. Your God is better than anybody else's God. Just say it. That's what you want to say. Just say it. Just go to all the circuses and all the gay clubs and hold a big room that says gays are going to hell. I mean, just say it. Have your
Uncle
own
Leo,
show and tell everybody how
Uncle,
unilateral your thinking is. I am so tired of people coming in here and just ignoring what everybody else has said.
but,
We said this before. I said
but,
this yesterday, but yet they
but,
just come in here like trolls. Jesus Christ.
but the reason Uncle Leo he did share what he did was because I did say something about the Bible, or I did say something about. So he shared his part after I
You
did,
did, Manny.
and
Yes, you did. But
yes,
we
so
said that in addressing that it's not about that. It's not about that. And that's why I hate stereo trolls. If you want to be a spiritual and religious person, great. Have your own show and let everybody know that there's only one God and why. That's really what you want to say. And I hate these snakes in the grass that pretend they don't. And by the way, not just this guy, anybody who's super religious, which is borderline extremism, which is borderline terrorism. You have spiritual people that believe in their religion and just live and let live. And then you have spiritual people that want to have discussion about it and have their own shows. Then you have religious people that aren't mindful whatsoever, have no situational awareness whatsoever, and want to troll and peddle something. I know what you're saying, but let me say this. Okay, so we're going to stop the entire show just to have a theological debate with you on your time while you're running errands. I will not do it, and I'm tired of acknowledging that these people deserve any time. No, Manny, not all messages matter.
see, I acknowledge that for what you just said, that all messages don't matter. But in the heat of the moment, what happens is when we both are sharing something, then there will be some story, some part of our conversation, such as I brought up that statement that objective truth is,
I heard that.
uh,
And then he went
you
ahead and
know,
used it as well. That's what I thought was so ironic.
well, it did touch him a little, right? So and but then again, he asked his question. We don't have to
Sure.
engage in it, and so as us,
And I don't have to
learning
keep crying
from.
about it either. I asked not to get a certain. Don't rub me this way, and he rubs me that way anyway. Okay, fine. I'll
But,
rub you back. It's not building bridges. Trust me. It's not. It's only building borders. If you can tell me that you have just as much respect for anybody else in any other religion, then yeah, I agree with you. But true zealots don't believe that. I guarantee you 100%. I've interviewed all of them. That's the problem with religion. If you go hardcore, there's no room for anybody else. You got to stay balanced, man. It's a story. It's an example. Jesus, always with these debates. Why? What's it going to prove? I'm going to agree with you. We're going to be friends. And then what? Then what? We're going to have shows together. And then what? Recruit more people. And then what? Recruit more people. And then what? Hopefully the end of the world comes and we're saved and we're the only ones. I mean, come on, just say it. That's what you want to say. There's an end to every story. Every religion has an end, right? The apocalypse, the four horsemen, great. But if that's what you're coming in here to sell me, why? Because I got to switch sides? No, man. Ever since gray matter came in here and did what he did, it's like my proselytizing, peddling salesman radar goes off right away. Especially when I see these cats in other rooms doing the same thing. Doing the exact same thing. Same people. So no,
So,
I don't
so,
accept it.
so,
I don't.
so,
It's unacceptable. I'm
what?
sorry.
Yes, yes. I'm just trying to see. So, I'm wondering what triggers me. You know,
Hmm.
what gets to me. Uh,
I know you're pretty mellow all the time. You're not like a screaming chihuahua like me. I bark at a lot of stuff.
Hey, no, no, you expressed yourself. Be myself as well, and then again, um, I don't know if I was giving fake smiles, but I'd rather not smile until I know it's a genuine smile kind of thing. But then what happens is slowly too. And one of the questions we have a choice to make on what we want to focus on, what we want to share, what we want to listen to. What do we want to listen to? And one of the questions that I'm trying to work on is who am I listening to? And who do I want to listen to? Who should I listen to? And am I listening to myself when I speak? And I like to ask that question to everyone. Who are you listening to? What are you feeding your mind, your soul, your spirit? The words we feed in, the tone we feed in, and that internal conversation that we have as well creates vibrations, creates that energetic motion, which we call emotion. Well, maybe Julie Prunes can feel probably.
Paradigm shift. Ooh. All right. Thanks for watching the Divine Nature Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share if you care. Until next time, God bless.